Previously on the diary.
On this day, I made several terrible mistakes. I said something I shouldn't have said. My dad punched me in the face, so I ducked and he punched the wall instead. I got in the car. It was the most uncomfortable ride I've ever been on. I could see his eyes in the rear view mirror. So sharp, blue eyes. Jessica's dad has been very worried for Jessica's well-being, but the thing that worries him the most is how much all of this will cost him. Money problems have always been one of the recurrent guest stars in their show. The taxi driver took me back to my house. I paid him and he left, but he came back 3 hours later. The first thing I saw was the dim shimmer of moonlight glaring off the silver barrel of the gun he was carrying. He had the safety on. I tried to get the gun from him. He pushed me away and got it off and accidentally fired. The bullet ricocheted several times and hit me on the side of my leg, and I didn't move anymore. I just stared into his eyes. I memorized that sharp shade of blue that I had never seen on anybody else's eyes before. Dad was passed out on painkillers and whiskey. Suddenly, my dad stumbled into the room. He started yelling. The taxi driver rushed out the window. I will never forget that sharp shade of blue that I can clearly see when I close my eyes, projected onto the back of my eyelids.
The following takes place on August 22nd, 2012.
Dear Diary, almost a month after my assault, I still sleep in the same room. I hate it here. I don't feel safe. 2 days ago, I found myself being unable to stop crying. So I grabbed all the bed sheets from that night and burned them all. It didn't make me feel any better, though. I don't know that anything will at this point. I've been asking my dad for us to move away. I don't care where. Anything is better than here. But my dad's responses are not those of a concerned father. You see, Diary, after he scared the taxi driver away that night, he dropped on the floor and passed out. I crawled my way to a phone to call for an ambulance, but the phone was dead. Service had been cut off for lack of payment. I wasn't gonna drive myself to the hospital, so I dealt with it my own way. I've seen plenty of movies fix this with a butter knife and a car cigarette lighter. Dad didn't wake up until next morning. Since then, he has pretended like nothing happened. When I try to tell him, he changes the subject. He doesn't let me finish. If I rush and yell it out over him, he says I must be crazy, that he doesn't remember anything. Why would he do that? Is he somehow trying to ignore the fact that for at least one night he totally failed me as a father? He would rather have me live afraid than admit to himself the embarrassment? How convenient for him. I am the one that has to go on remembering those sharp blue eyes. That shade of blue now haunts my dreams. I researched it online and I found it. I know its hexadecimal code now. 7AA9DD. This is the only thing I have to go by to describe him to someone else. And with the lack of my dad's support, I never had the courage to report it to the authorities. In fact, I had resigned to the idea of moving away and filled out all the paperwork to enroll in our town's high school for me to start my freshman year in September.
So I got into the principal's office and looked for Jessica's records. No sign of her coming into his office at all since the beginning of the school year.
All I wanted was to go somewhere new, where nobody knew who I was, where I could reinvent myself, where this didn't happen to me. Maybe even a place where I am not considered that beautiful, like LA or New York. And then today, he came home and surprised me. He just told me a few minutes ago that he found a job and we're moving in a day or two. Is this his way of telling me he always knew I was telling the truth? Or is he just trying to shut me up? Nevertheless, these are the best news I've heard in a while. This doesn't exactly redeem himself either, but it's a start. We are also not going very far, but at least it's not here. Not this house, not this room, not this bed. Which he already knows of and could come back to any night. My only hope is that he is not spying on us, figures out where we are moving to, and follows us to the new place.
Actually, there is a Jessica, but she moved out of town a couple of months ago.
I hate this person so much. I hate him to death. Escapes into the night. Jessica.